This is your Uncle TreeJam, and I'm bringing you another episode of Mass Effect 2. Last time we explored Kasumi Goto's quarters aboard the Normandy and got to know more about her past. Afterwards, we recruited Zaid Masani, a veteran bounty hunter with a special mission request and more than a few stories to tell. But now that we're here on Zakera Ward, it's time for us to bring Kasumi Goto and Zaid Masani along for the ride. I'm not going to meet the council with Jacob and Miranda. It doesn't make much sense to bring Cerberus operatives with me when this council has very little trust for Cerberus. So let's try and not start any fires. We've already got a big one since we have been brought back to life by Cerberus and we are working with them, but no need to add more fuel to that.
I'm sorry, but I can't let you board the shuttle with that.
But this is a ceremonial item of my people.
Sir, it's a 15-centimeter serrated blade.
You humans are all racist.
Let me actually go back and get the full dialogue from these two, if possible. Or not. I thought I could go back and get some more dialogue, but I guess not. And one thing I will note for the actors and actresses, in the last video I started doing this, but I started posting the names of actors and actresses who voice certain characters that talk to you through the dialogue system. I've decided for the list of actors and actresses, I'm only going to be naming off people who talk to you through the dialogue system where the dialogue wheel shows up, or where you actually have the dialogue as camera focusing on your character and the person who's speaking. So sometimes for really minor characters, even though Mass Effect 2 is a pretty large profile game, I often find that a lot of actors and actresses are basically listed as providing additional voices. It's not always clear who is voicing which line. I usually go to IMDb and then I make sure to double check sources from other sites as well, but I can't always find names for specific NPCs that just litter an area that might be providing some ambient conversation. So it's more feasible to actually list the names of people who talk to you through direct conversation. In any case, let's go ahead and head to the security checkpoint, and we're going to meet up with Sergeant Heron and try and clear up a few details about our recent reappearance in the galaxy.
I swear to God, I didn't touch anything.
Shut it down. What? Do you seriously think? Yeah, okay. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am. Our scanners are picking up false readings. They seem to think you're dead.
I was listed as missing in action a couple years ago.
Would you mind checking in with my captain? He can reinstate you in our system. He's just past the scanners on your right.
So now we're going to meet with Captain Bailey of CSEC, who I believe is voiced by an actor who played a role in the recent Battlestar Galactica TV show. And by recent, I mean within the 21st century. But here he is.
You'll have to make him scream a little. He's not gonna tell you everything just because you ask.
I know, sir.
If you don't have the stomach or you're worried about being reported, I can take care of it.
No, sir. I can handle it.
Yes, I see the problem already, Commander Shepard. My console says you're dead.
You're not worried I'm some imposter claiming to be me?
We have the best screening equipment in the galaxy. Those scanners can sample DNA from skin flakes. Hell, if you have unregistered gene mods, they can even figure those out.
Your sergeant said you could help with that.
Usually you'd have to go through the station security administration to reactivate your IDs. Then to customs and immigration to regain access to the Citadel itself, and probably a stop by the Treasury. Spending a year dead is a popular tax dodge. But I can see you're a busy woman. So how about I just press this button right here, and we call it done?
Couldn't one of us or both of us get into trouble for that?
There's no way to fool the DNA scanners in that tunnel. You're you. Why wait in long lines and fill out a mass of useless hard copy paperwork to get to the same place? The Council does everything by the book. They've had thousands of years to write it. Sometimes things need to get done without a committee vote.
You're not big on formalities, are you?
I'm with them right up until they keep people from doing their jobs. There. I just saved you about 9 days of running around. That said, you should head up to the Presidium and tell them you're still alive. The Council probably wants to talk to the one who saved their scaly asses.
What's the easiest way to get to the Presidium from down here?
Head back through the security checkpoint and take a public shuttle.
I will. Having access to the Council and the Spectre's resources would be useful.
Yeah. The Council can get anything. Best thing about working CSEC is that any equipment, information, or money you need, you get. Anyway, something else you need? Or can I get back to work?
So Bailey as a character is a fairly, I'd say morally great character, but definitely leaning more towards the good side. He is willing to take certain bribes, as we're going to see later on. He's also willing to bend the law and abuse suspects. Whatever gets the job done for Bailey. And it seems that this is going to be a good opportunity for... It would seem like a good opportunity for a character who's either Paragon or Renegade to talk with Bailey, but I feel that the more... In my experience, the more meaningful playthroughs involved a Paragon Shepard dealing with Bailey, so... Anyway, let's go ahead and find out about Bailey and more about the Citadel and CSEC.
How'd you end up working on the Citadel?
I started with the Alliance way back when, but the traveling was killing me. It's a shitty life if you're trying to raise a family, seeing your kids every 6 months. I joined CSEC so I could stay in one place and put down roots.
You like life here on the Citadel?
Life here is good. Hell of a lot different than life back on Earth. I miss the food mostly. You just can't get sockeye salmon here on the station.
You ever get back there?
Earth, every couple of years, less and less all the time. But when I finish my stint with CSEC, there's a nice little place in the foothills I'm gonna retire to. Not that I'm retiring anytime soon.
Last time I was here, there were no human captains in CSEC.
The CSEC took a lot of casualties when the Geth boarded the Presidium. The Special Response Division was hard hit. They stopped turning their noses up at human resumes. They needed bodies in uniform, and we had the most experienced bodies.
It looks like most of the damage from Sovereign's attack has been repaired.
The Presidium was pretty shot up. Of course, they fixed that first. All the wards got hit with debris when the ship exploded. Most of the damage was superficial, and the Keepers got things restored fast. Tasery Ward got the worst. A big chunk hit near the Dillanaga concert hall. They're still clearing wreckage and trying to get power restored.
Tell me about this place.
All the wards are more or less multicultural, but the other 4 are dominated by Asari, Turians, or Solarians. In Zakira, we've got major enclaves of Volus, Elcor, and Hanar. There's also a human commercial zone at Shinakiba. We've got a few Krogan walking around, and I think I saw a Quarian the other day.
Now, we should probably ask about the suspects that Bailey was talking about when we entered the room.
I overheard your conversation. Make him scream a little?
This isn't the Presidium. All they have to worry about are protesters outside their free speech zones or someone's poodle crapping on the grass. Down here, we have drugs, organized crime, and murder. Policing a ward is like policing New York City. Sometimes you have to work outside the Council's rulebook.
In any case, we already know how to get to the Council, but just in case you forgot...
I need to talk to the Council. How can I get to the Presidium from here?
Head through the security checkpoint and take a public shuttle.
I should be going.
You need anything else, let me know.
Now you're going to want to go this way if you want to take the shuttle. We can also take the terminal shuttle over here, the rapid transit system. But I'm going to go ahead and focus on meeting with Anderson before doing anything else. So let's head back through here.
You'll have to wait for the next shuttle.
You made me miss the last one.
You needed to go through security.
Why are you treating me like a criminal?
Because you tried to bring a 15-centimeter serrated blade on a public shuttle.
You humans are all racist.
In any case, let's go ahead and head over to the rapid transit, hit up the console, and we're going to make our way to the Presidium, where Anderson will be meeting with us, and we'll be able to answer some questions for the Council.
This meeting would be more productive if Udina was to join us.
My advisor is unavailable. As counselor, I represent the voice of humanity and the Alliance. Shepard will be here and... Oh, Commander. We were just talking about you.
And here's Counselor Anderson. It says Captain Anderson, but technically he's a counselor. And, well, if you didn't choose him as counselor for Mass Effect 1, he will be Admiral Anderson. But for now, let's go ahead and give him a good old warm handshake. Anderson has been basically our #1 mentor throughout the majority of Mass Effect 1, at least for the intro portion, and he's helped us out with pursuing Saren into the Terminus systems. We actually had to have Anderson knock out Udina, and I think Udina's going to remember that, so a lot to look forward to.
It's been a long time, Anderson. I hope the last couple years have treated you right.
There have been some rough spots. It's good to have you back.
We've heard many rumors surrounding your unexpected return. Some of them are unsettling.
We called this meeting so you could explain your actions, Shepard. We owe you that much. After all, you saved our lives in the battle against Saren and his Geth.
The Collectors are abducting human colonists in the Terminus systems. Worse, we think they're working for the Reapers.
The Terminus systems are beyond our jurisdiction. Your colonists knew this when they left Council space.
You're missing the important part, Counselor. The Reapers are involved.
Ah yes, Reapers. The immortal race of sentient starships allegedly waiting in dark space. We have dismissed that claim.
Shepard, no one else encountered the hologram on Ilos that told you the truth about the Reapers. Only you and your crew ever spoke with Sovereign. I believe you. But without evidence from another source, the others think Saren was behind the Geth attacks.
Saren was an organic. The Geth would never accept him as their leader. They only followed him because he was Sovereign's agent.
Saren was a compelling and charismatic individual. He convinced the Geth the Reapers were real, just as he convinced you.
It was part of his plan to attack the Citadel. The Reapers are just a myth, one you insist on perpetuating.
We believe that you believe it, but that doesn't make it true.
Go back to Ilos and talk to Vigil. Or just look at what's left of Sovereign. It's obvious the technology is more advanced than ours.
The hologram on Ilos is no longer functional, and we have found nothing to suggest that Sovereign was not a Geth creation.
The Geth are capable of remarkable technological achievements. This is probably why Saren recruited them.
This Reaper theory proves just how fragile your mental state is. You have been manipulated. By Cerberus, and before them, by Saren.
I kept Saren from conquering the Citadel. I sacrificed human lives to save this council.
We are in a difficult position, Shepard. You are working for Cerberus, an avowed enemy of the Council. This is treason, a capital offense.
That's too far. Shepard is a hero. I'm on this council too, and I won't let this whitewash continue.
Maybe there is a compromise, not a public acknowledgement given your ties, but something to show peripheral support.
Shepard, if you keep a low profile and restrict your operations to the Terminus systems, the Council is willing to offer you reinstatement as a Spectre.
What does that mean? Will I need to start filing reports?
That won't be necessary. This is a show of good faith on our part.
We cannot become involved in an investigation regarding the missing colonies in the Terminus systems, but Spectre reinstatement shows our support of you personally.
Let's go ahead and take the offer. Now, becoming a Spectre doesn't really have too much of an impact, except for a few key moments here and there with certain quests.
I accept your offer. It's good to have the Council on my side.
Good luck with your investigation, Shepard. We hope for a quick resolution and a quick end to your relationship with Cerberus.
Well, that went better than expected. You realize the Council's offer is just symbolic. They won't actually do anything.
Even if they don't help, I might as well stay on good terms.
True enough. Don't worry about the Council or the Alliance. I'll find some way to keep them off your back. Shouldn't be too hard. As long as you keep to the Terminus systems.
Anderson, we need to talk about... Shepard. What are you doing here?
And it looks like here's Udina. Now, one thing I want to mention is I'm kind of mesmerized by Udina's eye textures, kind of, I don't know, I want to call it glitching. I know it's the same thing with Zaid, but in any case, here's Udina. Unfortunately, I think Udina remembers the fact that Anderson laid him out, just so that we could grab the Normandy and escape and head to Ilos in order to pursue Saren. So I think he's got a few sore feelings about that. Let's go ahead and be diplomatic.
Stop by to see how Anderson was doing.
You don't have to cover for me. I invited Shepard here to speak with the Council. We just finished our meeting.
You what? Consular, do the words political shitstorm mean anything to you?
The Council reinstated my Spectre status. They're just happy I'm staying out in the Terminus systems.
Yes, I could see how that arrangement works best for both sides. But you really shouldn't have taken a step like this without consulting with me first, Consular.
I don't answer to you, Udina. Why don't you go to your office and think about that for a while?
Of course, Consular. Good day to both of you.
Sorry about that. Udina's never gotten over the fact that I got the Council position instead of him. Sometimes I need to put him in his place.
Udina's just doing his job.
True enough. He's got his uses. And if you want something done on the Citadel, he knows who can make it happen. Plus, he's always happy to attend all those formal diplomatic functions I can't be bothered with.
How have the last couple years treated you?
Serving on the Council isn't how I plan to spend my twilight years. Sometimes it feels like I'm just beating my head against a wall. Knowing the truth about Sovereign is brutal. It's nightmare stuff. I can't blame others for not wanting to believe it, but I know how important it is. So I keep trying. Fighting the good fight, right?
Forget Udina and the Council. Join my crew and help me stop the Collectors.
I'm too old to go racing across the galaxy. Much as I complain, I've got an important job to do here. The front line. That's got to be yours.
So back in Mass Effect 1, near the end, we chose Anderson to be Counselor. I did this for a couple of reasons. The most important reason is I felt that since the Reapers are coming, we hadn't quite beaten them, we would need a Counselor who understood what it took to fight a war. And therefore we need someone who's military-minded. Anderson was a perfect fit for that. And we also wanted someone who was more friendly to us than Udina, because when we decided to steal the Normandy and head over to Ilos, we might have burned 1 or 2 bridges with Udina, and we didn't want Udina having a grudge and using it as an excuse to, using his newfound political power to shut us out. In any case, whether or not you choose Anderson or Udina, it doesn't have too much of an impact, but the news reports around the Citadel do indicate, well, I think at least the Turian Councilor reports a more favorable relationship with Anderson than with Udina. So, in any case, no matter what you choose, Udina will end up as Counselor in Mass Effect 3. Anderson will have left by that time.
How long did it take to get this place back up to speed after the battle?
Still counting. The main areas of commerce and the most populated wards are complete. But estimates for total restoration are sitting around 5 years. The Keepers always surprise us, though. It's like our repairs are annoying. We'll put up an ugly new bulkhead, and in a few days, they've made it seamless. We never really thought of them as heavy lifters, and I have no idea where they get the resources. But we'd never get done without them.
I'm surprised no one can tell Sovereign isn't Geth technology. Didn't they examine the wreckage?
We don't have much to look at. Pieces of it rained all over the station. It was chaos, with who knows how many species combing the wards for their dead. We secured as much of it as we could. But between the Keepers and a whole lot of unauthorized salvage, there's no way to account for even half of that thing. Another reason why they don't want to acknowledge what Sovereign was.
Last I knew, we were still fighting holdouts.
Here and there. But they are increasingly disorganized. It's long since stopped being called a war. More like cleanup. Not that you can ever discount them. But we haven't had serious casualties for months. A civilian ship will spot an enclave and we send in a squad to clear it. They're not quite the boogeymen they used to be.
What happened to Staff Lieutenant Alenko after the Normandy was destroyed?
Staff Commander Alenko is still with the Alliance. But he's working on a special mission. It's classified. I can't say any more. Not while you're working with Cerberus, I'm sorry.
I kind of wish at times the subtitles, when there's a bright light right behind them, sometimes it can be hard to read them. I kind of wish that the game had a little bit more of a bolder, essentially a bolder black border around the words. But anyway, we've gotten all the info we can out of Anderson. Now, when we get a certain squad mate, we can come back here and ask about the war with the Geth, but a little bit something for later. For now, let's go ahead and leave Anderson to his job, and we have a little bit of free time around the Citadel. We can look around and see what's changed.
I better go.
Of course, Shepard, I understand. I wish I could do more to help you. But if you ever want to talk, I'll be here. Just do me a favor and be careful. You can't trust Cerberus.
A very good reason we didn't bring Anderson's, Actually, good thing we didn't bring Miranda and Jacob with us. Now I know that Jacob has one line depending on whether or not you choose certain dialogue options, and I'm floating on a balcony there, but there's not too much. Miranda kind of folds her arms in resignation, or irritation, I can't tell which. Cynicism, I could call it, if you accept the Council's offer. I don't know what happens if you turn down the Council's offer. I guess I'll have to test that out in my own time. But for now, let's get over to the docking area. The area on the Citadel that we can explore, the hub area at least, is a little smaller than the total area of the Citadel that we can explore in Mass Effect 1. And that includes the Presidium and Wards areas from Mass Effect 1. So, Mass Effect 1 had some, for the most part, pretty subtle loading screens, but here, the areas that are gated off, they're gated off behind some pretty obvious loading screens. You don't get to justify a loading area with an elevator system. I'm actually not quite sure how many areas of the Citadel are loaded up and ready to go, as in areas that are fully loaded, as you explore around in Mass Effect 1, so it might be a question for people who are actually more familiar with the game's code and how it works, with how much of the game is actually loaded for each area when you look around. But in Mass Effect 2, when you go through a loading screen, you're gonna know it. You will know it.
I want to know when the next shuttle will get here.
There's one every 10 minutes.
I don't want to wait that long.
I can't make the shuttles go any faster, sir.
You humans are all racist.
And there we go. In any case, let's go ahead and look around here. I'm gonna go ahead and save some of the Galactic News reports for a separate vid, and I might do the same thing for the Citadel Newsnet entries with Emily Wong. If you remember back in Mass Effect 1, Emily Wong was a reporter that we helped out. We gave her an OSD on Fist regarding his activities on the Citadel, and we also helped her out with planning a few bugs in CSEC's Traffic Control Center. Not necessarily the most ethical approach for that latter quest, but I helped her out because I trusted her. But here we have a familiar hologram. We have Avina, who is the station's VI, and it seems that she's still around giving advice to tourists. So let's find out more from Avina and let this Turian CSEC officer move along his job. Not carrying any sidearm there. Might not be a CSEC officer, but he's definitely wearing the color scheme that you might expect from a CSEC person in uniform.
Welcome back, Shepard. It has been 2 years, 3 months, and 17 days since the Citadel last welcomed you. This is the Zakera Ward Transportation Hub. Public shuttles and shopping are available through the CSEC security cordon.
There seem to be a lot more CSEC officers than the last time I was here.
In the wake of the Geth attack 2 years ago, additional security precautions were implemented for the safety and security of residents. In addition to increased CSEC patrols, weapon carry restrictions have been tightened.
So has crime decreased?
Violent crime has decreased by 23%. Property crime has decreased by 41%. Incident clearance has improved by 16%.
Sounds like an improvement to me. Can't exactly fault that. Those stats look pretty good.
What stores are available on this level?
Only one store exists on this level. Citadel Souvenirs offers licensed mementos of your visit. Their line of starship models is well regarded.
One of my biggest complaints regarding wandering around the Citadel and Mass Effect 2, there aren't enough... The decision with regards to whether or not you save or sacrifice the Council, I feel, is a little bit too downplayed. I would have liked the decision in Mass Effect 1 regarding whether or not you saved or sacrificed the Council to have had a little bit more weight, a little bit more significance, but in any case, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that when we get to the loyalty mission for a certain Thane Krios. But let's see what else we can find out from Avina.
It looks like this place has recovered from Sovereign's attack.
Repair of the damage from the Geth attack is ongoing. There is still extensive damage on Tali'zorah Ward.
Geth? It was Sovereign who led the attack. A Reaper.
I have no information on a Reaper. References to the term exist in some parahistorical theories on galactic extinction cycles.
So, the Council's lying. There's a shock. Why spook people with the damn Reapers when you can blame everything on the Geth?
Kasumi's got a pretty interesting and a little humorous line, but here Zaid went ahead and spoke, so I'm going to try to bring another squad mate along. Maybe sometime in the future. But if you ever forget how to get to the Council...
I need to talk to the Council. How can I reach the Presidium from here?
Public transit shuttles are available on the far side of the C6 security cordon.
And there you go.
That's all for now.
Thank you for using Avina. Have a pleasant day.
And the console you need to take in order to use that, get to the Council. If you don't want to go through the security checkpoint, there's actually a rapid transit console on the far side of this little gap. So, just go ahead and hit that up and head over to the Presidium. But you can only talk to the Council in that one scene that we just completed, so there's that. I think, if I recall correctly... I don't remember if there's any other scene where we talk to the Council. That might be it. In any case. Warning, centrifugal... Why can I not talk right now? Centrifugal pseudogravity in use in the Citadel. Dropped objects and persons jumping will fall towards the windows. Good to know. Also good to know that I have these space boots. But here we have some areas around the Citadel we can explore. We have his Kara Cafe. We can go in here and buy some ingredients for Rupert Gardner in order to fulfill his request. We also have some advertisements that will play certain ads every now and then, but I'm going to go ahead and skip that for now. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to cut the video and we're going to resume the remainder of our exploration on the Citadel in maybe the next 1 or 2 vids. For now, I really do have to go, so thank you for tuning in. This is GreatTreeJam, and wish you guys a happy day, night, evening, afternoon, wherever you may be in this universe or the next. I'm signing out, so stay safe, and I'll see you next time.